I think I like reviewing this miniseries because I don't respect the writer or the story. So taking the time to explain things or discuss ideas isn't remotely on my mind. I just want to focus on awful jokes my nemesis has shot out into the world. This is The Last Days of Animals Man by Gerry and Dave Batista. This is issue 3 of 6. Animals Man has now turned to the Justice League for help concerning his depleting powers. This is set in the future year of 2024, which is now the current year. And Gerry Conman honestly got bored of thinking of ideas that might come to pass in the future. So the most we get is the flask is now black. If you were feeling generous to Gerry Conman, you might want to pretend it is Black Kid Flask all grown up. Black Kid Flask hadn't been introduced yet, but you can easily pretend it is meant to be him if you want. This issue actually hands us the worst thing in the entire miniseries, which will end this issue. But here we have Animals Man and Star Fox flirting around, basically. Nothing healthier than an hard man flirting with a tiny titan. The Justice League, they cannot help Animals Man. That was a worthwhile trip, wasn't it? The thing they put on the cover, the thing they used as a cliffhanger tease last issue, the Justice League, well, they are only putting in an appearance for the sake of it. They keep appearing in this miniseries too, and it is not flattering. There might be some value in exploring the grief that consumes a superhero when they lose or are losing their powers, the very thing that makes them special. But to Gerry Conman, it's all whining and being an arsehole to people. Speaking of arseholes, there's a segue if ever there was one. I am going to share with you some of the art created by my nemesis. His art is his puns, and this is one of them. This one gobsmacked Darth Knight the subscriber, and I think it will gobsmack you too. My favourite German politician is the one who is also a Hollywood actor who has competed in the 100 metre and recently became gay. That's right, it's Merkel Fastbender. The rest of the issue is showing us how shit Animals Man's home life is. And the pun isn't worth further focus, it's dreadful. Animals Man, Rob Schneider, his family life has always been the backbone of the character. You don't care for Animals Man because he has animal powers, or because he fights Mirror Man in one issue. You care because he is a normal, loving family man. Gerry Conman makes his relationship with his wife distant. They are arguing a lot, and they probably sleep in separate beds. I'm surprised Gerry Conman didn't squeeze that in somewhere. Over here is Prismatic, Mirror Man's evil daughter, introduced the last issue. She and that shite blood rage cunt, they are the villains for this miniseries. Well, the non-metaphorical villains anyway. Continuing with Animals Man's family, we have his daughter. And this makes no sense actually. His daughter is still in high school. But this series was released in 2009 when she was... I don't know how old she was. I will be super charitable and say she was like 5. But I think she was older than that. The series is set in 2024, which is 15 years after its release. 15 years into the future of the DC universe. And somehow, his daughter is still a teenager. And she might be young, but it doesn't stop Gary Conman from establishing, out of nowhere, that she is now a lesbian. There's something incredibly sinister when an hard man like Gary Conman has an underage girl as sexually active at all. It's creepy. Then we have Blood Rage, and who gives a shit about him? We have a live pantomime performance here of the song Cats in the Cradle with Animals Man and Animals Man's son. So let's get to the dog shit that I want to complain about. Animals Man and Star Fox. To most of you, you might be going, why are they focusing on these two as if they have like a deep connection or history or something? In the 5-2, A and and Stephen Strange, they were an unlikely grouping that were stranded in space together for a year. Animals Man and Star Fox obviously bonded, and when they got home, there was this nice status quo, I guess, where Animals Man would get Star Fox to babysit his kids, and Animals Man's son was obsessed with Star Fox's boobies. I like that, not the pervy son. I think it gives Star Fox a little corner away from the Tiny Titans. She gets to have friendships and bonds unrelated to Tiny Titans. There was a miniseries, Countdown to Adventure, which built on Animals Man and Star Fox's connection. And Stephen Strange was in it as well. I cannot remember how, but he was there too, apparently. It might have been 2 separate plots, because all I remember is Animals Man and Star Fox fighting some mind control bad guy on a beach. Throughout the 5-2 and that miniseries, we kind of hinted at some romance, but never committed to it. There was a spark, but Animals Man, he was away from his family in the 5-2. He was missing them, but he never betrayed his wife ever. And if I remember, there was even a bit where Star Fox outright said she would never let Animals Man betray his wife. It was a mature platonic relationship between the two. Any idea of infidelity or sex was a fleeting thought that neither character would ever pursue. Animals Man is, as I said, the character, rests and relies on him being relatable and likeable because he is an ordinary family man. Gary Conman has no history writing Animals Man. So this is where we go. Gary Conman was 57 years old at the time of writing this, onto his 3rd marriage. And here we have a man in his 50s having an affair with a younger woman. What is in this relationship for Star Fox? What part of Star Fox's established character makes her interested in an hard man? All she gets out of this is to be Gary Conman's vicarious cum bucket. I was going to tear this up, but I changed my mind. I think what it does with Animals Man is appalling. and character destroying, even if it isn't canon. But what bothers me the most is poor Starfox. She is an object to the story. She is there for no reason except for this affair. Starfox was not in issue 1. She was in one page of issue 2. She is hardly part of the story, and we are given no characterisation for her besides having her reciprocate. These are the last days of Animals Man, because he cannot really go anywhere after this. Gerry Conway sabotaged the character for what I assume is entirely his own personal wish fulfillment. At least he didn't steal anything this time. 7 thumbs up.